Before the first neuron ever fired, before matter found shape, a deeper structure was already whispering through reality. This presentation explores the coherence field equation, a scientific model revealing how consciousness is not an accident of biology, but the natural resonance of a primordial field beneath spacetime itself. We step through the layers of its emergence, from quantum interactions to global neural patterns, and uncover a unified blueprint for consciousness. Consciousness does not arise from a single mechanism. It is a bridge across scales. At the neural level, the brain operates near criticality, dancing on the knife edge between order and chaos. Neuronal avalanches and 1/f noise reveal this delicate balance. In the quantum realm, microtubules vibrate in warm biological coherence, sustaining quantum information far longer than previously believed possible. The coherence field equation weaves these scales together. Through resonance, a phase transition occurs, transforming complexity into consciousness. Long before the universe cooled, a pre-spacetime quantum field existed, the coherence field. This field drove the symmetry breaking that allowed spacetime, matter, and forces to emerge. Independent of biology, it behaves like a fifth fundamental force, defined by unique coupling constants and its own conserved coherence charge. When biological systems meet the right conditions, this field becomes capable of interacting with them, enabling consciousness itself. At the heart of the coherence field equation lies a Lagrangian structure that governs its behavior. Kinetic terms and symmetry-breaking potentials define the field's phases. Biological systems act as source currents, injecting structure into the equation. When these elements align, a nonlinear transition emerges. At the critical threshold of theta greater than 0.4, the system crosses from unorganized activity into conscious experience. A sharp, predictable phase transition from unconscious to aware. Consciousness requires four pillars working in perfect unity. Substrate capacity, the quantum coherence supported by microtubules and ion channels. Energy threshold, surpassing 40% of baseline metabolism to sustain organized activity. Information integration, weaving patterns into meaningful resonance. And phase alignment, allowing the biological system to couple with the coherence field. Break any pillar, and consciousness cannot emerge. Together, they form the multiplicative engine of awareness. Deep inside the cell, microtubules serve as the biological substrate for coherence. Tryptophan networks within tubulin proteins exhibit superradiance, enhancing quantum yields by up to 70%. Their hidden Fibonacci architecture preserves coherence tens of thousands of times longer than ordinary structure. And at the ion and water interfaces, quantum tunneling adds four-dimensional volume-time capacity, creating the conditions necessary for the field to resonate. Biology, at its smallest scale, becomes a gateway to the coherence field. To sustain consciousness, biological systems must continuously fuel coherence. ATP pumps inject energy directly into coherent states. Mitochondrial electron transport produces ultra-weak photons that stabilize field resonance. Ion gradients, consuming nearly 40% of all neural energy, maintain the delicate structure needed for coherence. Meanwhile, nonlinear information integration binds space, time, and meaning. When the system reaches the PCI threshold of 0.4, the structure becomes sufficient for the field to manifest conscious awareness. Consciousness depends on global timing. Gamma synchronization networks, oscillating between 40 and 80 Hz, create the temporal scaffold that holds awareness together. When phase differences remain around 30 degrees, coherence strengthens and consciousness stabilizes. But under anesthesia, phase differences widen to 90 degrees. The scaffolding collapses. The coherence value drops and consciousness fades. Awareness is not just energy, it is timing, harmony, and phase. The coherence field does more than shape consciousness. It may also shape the cosmos. When ordinary matter interacts through the stress-energy tensor, the field generates gravitational effects identical to dark matter without requiring new particles. Its faint coherence radiation offers a measurable signature predicted near 240 GHz. From galaxy clusters to luminous matter traces, the field produces distinct patterns that mirror dark matter's behavior. Consciousness and cosmology may be two expressions of the same underlying force. The coherence field also encodes information across time and space. Protected phase structures create stable temporal dimensions, echoing Wheeler's idea that the universe emerges from information itself. In cosmic voids, fluctuations generate an information pressure detectable through weak lensing surveys. And at the smallest scales, volumetric information capacity is defined by the Planck length and the coherence amplitude. This field is not only the foundation of consciousness, it is the universe's memory. When consciousness fades under anesthesia, the coherence field doesn't vanish instantly. It collapses predictably. As the field strength drops below 50% of its baseline value, the system loses the resonance needed for awareness. But as patients recover, something remarkable happens. In a transition window lasting only 30 to 60 seconds, the coherence dynamics reorganize, climbing sharply back towards stability. When we test mathematical models against real data, only the multiplicative model succeeds. With an R² above 0.85, it matches the behavior of the coherence field with high accuracy. The additive model fails because consciousness is not built from isolated parts. It emerges only when all parameters act together. Most importantly, the PCI threshold at 0.4 reveals a discrete phase transition. Once the coherence passes this critical value, conscious experience does not gradually return. It appears abruptly as the field snaps back into resonance. This sharp transition is the defining signature of the coherence field equation. To understand the biological foundation of the coherence field, we look to ultra-fast spectroscopy. In conscious states, microtubules sustain coherent quantum vibrations lasting more than 100 picoseconds at body temperature. This duration is far beyond what conventional physics predicts, and it correlates directly with the presence of awareness. Fluorescence measurements reveal a more than 50% increase in quantum yield during consciousness. The system becomes more efficient, more organized, and more capable of sustaining field resonance. Superradiance detection shows collective behavior, thousands of molecular dipoles emitting as a single quantum system. The decay rate enhances by over a factor of 1,000, confirming a cooperative quantum effect inside the brain's cytoskeleton. Finally, biophoton spectroscopy reveals that ultraviolet emission becomes structured when consciousness is present. The coherence emission index rises above 0.4, matching the same threshold found in the PCI model. During conscious states, the brain emits light with organized quantum patterns, signaling that the coherence field is fully active. Cosmic data suggests the coherence field shaped the early universe. Standard cosmology predicts a smooth Gaussian pattern, but the coherence field introduces a slight non-Gaussian signature around FNL approximately 0.1. Upcoming missions like CMBS-4 and Lightbird can detect this deviation, providing direct cosmological evidence for the field's influence. Vacuum tests also support the theory. Squid arrays operating at millikelvin temperatures could detect coherence-induced magnetic flux at the scale of 10 phi 0. Such measurements would reveal structured fluctuations in the quantum vacuum, showing that the coherence field persists independent of biological or macroscopic systems. Quantum entanglement behavior offers another validation path. If the coherence field underlies entanglement geometry, the fidelity between separated particles should fall with distance according to the field's correlation length. Measuring this decay provides a direct, testable signature of the field's interaction with quantum systems. The coherence field equation reframes consciousness as access to a fundamental field rather than something the brain generates. When biological systems reach the required resonance conditions, conscious experience emerges as a measurable state of coherence rooted in the underlying fabric of reality. Across neuroscience, quantum biology, and astrophysics, coherence appears as the shared principle linking mind and cosmos. Neural patterns, quantum substrates, and cosmic information structures all converge into the coherence field equation, forming a unified scientific framework for understanding consciousness and the universe. This paradigm opens new possibilities. Consciousness can be quantified through coherence metrics. Artificial systems may be designed to interface with the field, and a universal information network becomes scientifically approachable, allowing humanity to understand its place within a broader coherent structure shaping both life and the cosmos.